Hi, Daddy.
The most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynx is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody as ruthless. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. Phil, you're my boy!
Cut it up. Cut it up.
It's game time with your hosts E-Dub, Ty, and ATL Phil. Welcome to the Gametime Radio Show.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what is up? What is up? What is up? It is Game Time Sunday. Welcome to another edition of the Gametime Radio Show, episode number 7. Lucky number 7, man. Back in the building again with the crew. And I'm your humble host, E-Dub from the 813, man. Glad, excited to be here to get into this hour. First of all, let me introduce you to the crew. My man to the right, coming fresh from Mercedes-Benz Arena, Mercedes-Benz Stadium with the Atlanta United catching that fresh win today. My man, the CEO of ATL HQ.com. ATL Phil, what up?
What's going on, everybody? Almost didn't make it, but I'm here.
How was the traffic, man?
It wasn't too bad, I know those little back roads through the west side.
Yeah, we're not too bad. We're down the north side in beautiful Atlantic Station, so we're not too far from the bend. So shout out to the United for getting that W today. And to my left, my guy, no radio ID Ty.
Let's just go with that. I like that.
No radio ID Ty, man. What's going on, my man?
It's good to be here again, man. Third week in a row, man. I'm starting to get used to this.
Number 3.
Yeah.
We're going to call him the Kyle Ripken of Sports Talk Radio. The Sports Street. 3 weeks in a row, man. We're excited to be here, man. We're excited. A lot to talk about in this hour, man. So, Ty, go ahead and hit us up with our housekeeping.
Absolutely. We always want to remind you all to follow us on all of our social media outlets. You can find us, first of all, our website is gtradio1100.com. And Instagram and Twitter, we're at gtradio1100. And if you're on Facebook, make sure you just search for us at Game Time Radio. And, of course, we always want to remind you to follow us on iTunes and give us a 5-star rating.
5 stars.
Also can find us on iHeartRadio and the TuneIn app as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So make sure you give us that 5-star rating, because if you don't, we'll be inclined to think that you are a hater. First things first, man. T-shirt drive, man. We got about 12 more days. We have enough T-shirts to print, so that is a good thing. But we still want to roll out these T-shirts, man. It's for a good cause. A portion of the money goes to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society of Atlanta. So make sure you check our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram. We've really been pubbing that, and we're gonna keep on doing it till y'all buy some more of these shirts. Exactly. But shout out to everybody that has bought shirts, man. I wanted to have your names, but we're going to shout you guys out more sooner than later. So let's get into this first segment, something we call Fresh Off the Press.
So we were the ones that started with this fresh revolution.
Cool and the gang, fresh. Fresh fish, we catch him, you buy him.
Fresh off the press.
Oh, it's fresh time. It's fresh, y'all. It's so fresh that I sent my guys an outline. And something went down last night, and I said, hey, guys, we got to talk about this. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The brawl.
Yeah.
We got to talk about Spitgate. We got to talk about Spitgate, man. So, real quick, let me set it up. If you guys have been living under a rock, L.A. Bron made his debut last night in Los Angeles for the Lakers. Lakers and the Rockets were going at it when James Harden went to the hoop, got fouled by Brandon Ingram. Ref called a foul. Brandon Ingram didn't like it. So Brandon comes up and pushes James Harden. Like, man, wow. Smashes my man. Like, it was like, yo, what was wrong with Brandon Ingram? Time goes on. The camera pans away.
Well, he also got in the ref face, too.
Yeah, he got in the ref's face like he wanted to do. Like he wanted to get the ref some smoke. So the camera pans away, and all you hear is Mike Breen. oh, we got punches. Rondo and CP3 are throwing haymakers. Phil, when everything goes down, the first question we gotta ask, what was up with Brandon Ingram?
Yeah, I mean, players should know from prior happenings that if you instigate a situation, you're going to get in trouble much worse than anybody else that's in the whole entire scrum.
He didn't care.
It was just you got to be smarter than that.
Ty, when I showed you the clip, man, what was the first thing? I think you asked me what's going on with Brandon Ingram.
Yeah. I think that I guess he got tired of not getting calls or whatever and getting picked on. I guess even though he's not a rookie right now, they still treat him like he's a young cat. So those older vets, they know how to get under your skin. So he didn't show any I guess restraint.
Yeah,
so
not at all.
He's probably tired of seeing people on social media calling him a stick because he is small. He's
he's
the size of
dude.
me.
He's a skinny dude. But here's the thing, and somebody brought it up. I think after the game they were talking about James Harden and CP3. They know what they're doing. When you play the Rockets, they get on your nerves, especially James Harden. Because he gets these moves and he knows how to draw contact to get fouls. Plus, he does that drop skip thing when he travels, and they never call it.
Right.
So I can see how he'd be frustrated, right?
Yeah, but you got to keep your cool. You can't come into a situation like that, and you can't get in the ref's face either. He probably, even if he didn't come in the scrum, he'd probably be looking at a suspension for getting up in the ref like that.
Yeah, and the guy Kiki Vandeweghe, the guy who issues out discipline for the NBA, he was in the arena last night. Okay. So they were like, Kiki's in attendance. So I mean, he gonna be singing "Kiki, Do You Love Me?" because he gonna be he gonna come out some pockets.
Yeah,
and he's gonna miss
5 games.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know. What do you think, Ty? 5 games, 6 games
for Brandon Ingram?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if he wouldn't have thrown that extra punch at the end, it probably wouldn't have been like that. But to start the whole thing and then you get the last blow as well, you have to get at least 3, man. At least
so,
3
I mean, I can understand the frustration, but again, that comes with being a pro. You have to know going in, doing your homework, okay, James Harden is this type of player. I'm going to get fouls but when the heat of the moment, when those guys are super ultra competitive, everything just throws out the boat, right?
Right.
So here's the thing. So Ingram gets into his little thing, and they cool him down, and another part that gets lost of this, Lance Stevenson is the peacemaker.
That's the craziest part to me. I'm like, what? This
L.A. Lance Stevenson.
Ron Artest's gonna come through the door next. Kumbaya.
Lance Stevenson plays peacemaker, and they're getting everything calmed down, and the ball kid, and then CP3 and your boy.
Rondo.
CP3 and Rondo. I had a brain fart. CP3 and Rondo start throwing haymakers at each other. And I'm like, yo, what is the deal? And CP3, as it comes out, he said that he spit on him. I'm like, yo, man, you can't be spitting on folks, man. That's a breach of the code.
That's one of the most disrespectful things you can do to a person: spit on them or backslap them. Backslap is worse than a forward slap. But spitting is another one too.
So if we're ranking the totality, would you rather be spit on, backslap, pimp slap, or pistol whipped? Those are the five deadly sins, right?
Yeah.
Don't pistol whip me, don't pimp slap me, don't spit on me.
Right.
Phil, they talked about after the game. One thing that Paul Pierce and Chauncey Billups and the ESPN crew brought up was those guys have history. They've been not liked each other. And I didn't know that.
Rondo doesn't like much of anybody.
Right.
He really doesn't. But, I thought it was interesting. So, just for, I don't know if you're old enough for this, Phil, but I don't know if you've ever seen the Jerry Seinfeld episode where they talked about the spit with Keith Hernandez. Have you ever seen that, Ty?
I've seen it, the baseball game, yeah.
Have you seen it, Phil?
Nah,
I'm going to send you the clip of Jerry Seinfeld, and that was what reminded me last night, because we talked about the spit that may or may not have happened last night on Twitter, and it
definitely happened.
It was hilarious.
Wow.
It was hilarious. I was telling Ty that somebody did a 2-minute expose of how Rondo couldn't have spit in his face because he was like, look, man, look right here. He like had the video. He did the diagram. It was amazing. And everybody was captivated. And we're like, nah, man. I was a full believer until this morning when new video arose. Ty, what did you see? Because I showed you the video.
First of all, I'm surprised. How do they come up with these kind of videos that quickly? It just happened last night. You have a full breakdown of different angles. I'm like, YouTube, man, the internet is like nuts.
Undefeated.
Yeah, man. Dude, like, okay, first of all, I don't really like either one of those point guards, to be honest with you. I feel like both of them, they have, like, bad attitudes. Chris Paul, to me, for some reason, comes off as a dirty player to me anyway. I would hate to play against him. And to have him and James Harden on the same team, like, I wouldn't even want to see Houston at all. I know I would come out of there with a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I was kind of rooting for both of them. I wanted both of them to get hit because I don't like either one of them.
So there was a video that arose this morning, and it showed in slow motion, like and it looked so like ever so gently, like there, and it was almost like kind of like one of those side spits, like one of them old, like the old heads do, like when you have like a bunch of sunflower seeds in your mouth, and or you chewing a whole bunch of tobacco, right. And you're just like kind of. So it wasn't like a full-fledged whoosh. It wasn't like that. It was like very subtle with it.
Right.
And he did it and had it in slow motion, and you see Chris Head do this. you see it bump just a little bit.
Episode.
So after he gets spit, of course, then he mocks him in the head. Rondo comes back with that left foot. Wow. And then the fight ensues, man. Did you see any of the spit videos, Phil?
Yeah, it definitely looks like you could see his lips. He definitely made a motion that looked like spit, and then just Chris Paul's instant reaction. Yeah. So Rondo, he's not gonna get any help from the league either. I mean, how many times has he been suspended for just nonsense?
Can't be out here in these streets spitting on folks, man.
And then throwing the first punch. Like, if you get mushed in the face or pointed in the face after spit on somebody, you deserve that. You can't try to swing on them after that. Like, come on.
And then Brandon Ingram runs in after those two gets into it, and he comes in with them long arms like Dyson off of Street Fighter. You remember Street Fighter?
Yeah.
The dude with the long arms. Yeah, that's who he reminded me of when he came in there and hit him with the dude, man.
What do y'all make of social media getting on LeBron for comforting basically Chris Paul after?
Here's the thing, like that's his boy.
Yeah,
like
I mean, he's one of his son's godfather, right?
Yeah. So like they said blood's thicker than water. I guess blood's thicker than your jersey. I mean, because like think about it. Like me and you grew up together. You my boy. We compete. You know what I'm saying? If me and Ty get in a fight, we still gonna be boys because when this basketball is over, we still gonna be cool. Mm-hmm. So I didn't have no, and I don't think LeBron didn't even do anything. All he did was just
he took him away, and then
he broke up the fight.
But you see that even in other little scrimmage, fights or whatever, you'll see a player from the other team go to another player and like kind of calm them down.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that big of a deal for them.
If anything, they need to be on like Ball and Harden for walking away.
Yeah, you should see. If you watch the replay, you should see how casually LeVar Ball walks up to like when they start fighting. LeVar's like, okay, let me just.
I'm out here.
What's that?
Lonzo.
Oh, Lonzo. I'm thinking about the daddy. Lonzo's just kind of strolling in. All right, let me see what's going on.
Did you see the ref too? The ref, as soon as he was like getting in it, then that first hit came, he was like, "Oh."
Well, who was it? It was Rondo that walked off immediately or walked out.
Yeah, Rondo knew what time it was.
Suspended. Like, let me just go ahead and.
He was like, "Yeah, man, they about to get me up out of here. Let me just walk to this locker room."
Ingram was hanging around like they might let him stay.
Nah, you go to
the locker room too. Try to blend in. Maybe they won't see me if I stand over here.
So I thought it was very entertaining, to say the least, man. Rockets won the game, but I thought it was very entertaining. I'm excited about Bron in L.A. I don't know if I'm excited about Bron. I think I'm more excited about Lance Stevenson being in L.A. He is so funny to me.
See, he shot that three, did the little like spin, and then barely hit the.
I saw Lance Stevenson do a no look pass. You know when you do like the no look. He like spent into like a 360 and like fell on the ground and like nobody was around him.
So extra, man. I'm imagining him after this whole thing going down, talking to Rondo, saying, "Hey, you're supposed to just blow in his ear, not spit on him." Maybe that's what you were trying to do.
Lance is hilarious, man. I'm more excited about Lance being in LA than LeBron, but man, that was pure D entertainment. In more news, fresh out the press, the new State Farm Arena was open to the public this week. So Saturday they had something for the fans. Friday they had something for the media. I was supposed to be in attendance for the media VIP event, But something happened. I had to take care of some business with work. You know, the Bills always take precedence. So I wasn't able to go. But our guy Phil was able to check out the arena on Saturday. Now, Ty showed you some of the pictures. What are your thoughts, man, of the Hawks' new digs?
I think they're going to have an even bigger problem than the Falcons are having with getting their fans to come actually watch the game. There's so much to do, man. It's like people are going to be going there just to hang out, you know, just to holler at girls or whatever. You know, look.
I can dig it.
Yeah, you know, so it's not like they're going to be missing much this season anyway watching the Hawks. But yeah, I don't think people are going to really be watching the game with so much to do, man.
Phil, you were there firsthand. I'm sorry to interrupt you, man. Go ahead.
That first initial, when you walk through the door, you know, you used to just coming down the stairs, and now it's just all open, and then the concourse, that main Hawk Walk area with the catwalks above, and it's open right into the bowl with the bar overlooking the whole bowl and everything. I mean, it's great. And then you go into the actual seating area, and you got all the screens. I mean, you got your huge main screen, and then you got 4 stat boards in each corner. There's no bad seat in the house.
Wow.
And even how they took the suites away, and they built the upper 200 section on the other side.
Oh wow.
It's kind of cool over there because it's almost like you're on top of the court. It's actually not a bad view for being an upper level.
Cool.
But the coolest part is probably the new club section and the terrace section. I mean, they have couches and cabanas and
ballin'.
I mean, it's a nice spot.
Yeah, that's
Definitely
dope,
excited.
man. I saw the pictures. I saw the videos. A lot of people have been tweeting and putting stuff on Instagram, and I'm highly excited. Like the game on Wednesday, I'm covering the game for Hawks Beat, and I may get there like 2 hours early. I may go get a haircut from Killer Mike's swag shop. I saw Killer Mike today in Publix, man. I was like, "What's up, Mike?" He's like, "What's up, man?" Cool dude, man. Shout out to Killer Mike. And but yeah, man. So that is fresh out the press. Let me give you guys just a quick rundown of the day in college football. Georgia Tech had bye weeks. The big news was Ohio State, man. They caught that L from Purdue. And I don't know what the score was, 41-16. It was a big loss, but top 5 team in the nation goes down. Clemson gets a big win over NC State, but Bama rolls, and that's pretty much all you need to know about that. But we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, we are going to get into the story of the day. You're listening to the Game Time Radio Show on the Real 1100, iHeartRadio, and TuneIn. We'll be back.
Are you tired of ESPN ignoring Atlanta sports?
From their 25-yard line. And Freeman found a hole. He's across midfield. Devontae Freeman inside the 20, the 10. Touchdown. 75 yards.
ATL Sports HQ is your source for all things Atlanta sports. Built for the fans, by the fans. Visit atlsportshq.com today.
There's a lot going on in the world, and your world is always changing. That's why it's important to stay connected. The latest news, the latest entertainment, the newest music. If it's in the air or on the air, it can be in the palm of your hand, wherever you are, with the iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Over 1,500 live radio stations from across the country, and over 15 million songs to create your own custom stations. Text IHR to 45495 to download the app or listen at iHeartRadio.com. Standard text and data rates apply.
Are you ready for another season of Atlanta Hawks basketball?
Here's Bays lobbing to Collins, and a beauty. Orient for 3 behind the Collins screen. Nothing but net.
Hawksbeat.com. Make sure you're following us on Twitter and Instagram at Hawksbeat as we cover your Atlanta Hawks all season long. Hawksbeat.com, the pulse of your Atlanta Hawks.
Bazemore plants his fake. Bingo!
Kid Bazemore's on fire.
And now it's time for the story of the day.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to the Game Time Radio Show. I'm your host, E-Dub from 813 with my man, ATL Phil. No radio ID Ty. My man Sean pushing the buttons in the back. Story of the day, man. NFL week number 7. So week number 7? Man, this flying by, man.
NFL season so short.
Flying by. So the Falcons, of course, have the Monday night game, and we'll preview that in just a moment. But we'll go around as we normally do and take a look at some of these NFC South games. Up first, my beloved Buccaneers took on the Cleveland Browns in a game that could be described as one of the ugliest games that I've witnessed this season. And for those of you who didn't watch this game, and I'm pretty sure the only people watching this game were me and my guy Billy Green, who's a Browns fan. I'm sure me and him were the only two watching this game. But the Bucs had a 14 or 17 point lead. They blew it. The Browns had many chances to win. They blew it. Bucs had more chances to win. They blew it again. Missed an extra point. Our kicker missed an extra point. He missed a field goal from like 40 yards in overtime. And then when you're upset at all that, you're upset at the 4 turnovers from Jameis Winston. The kicker comes back and makes a 59-yard field goal to win the game. I was disgusted. Like, have you guys ever had a situation where your team wins and you're still mad?
Last week. I mean, we don't have to go too far. Yeah, just like last week, man.
Oh my gosh, I was just so disgusted. It felt like the pit in your stomach. Like, you can't be too mad because your team won. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
there's definitely been a few United games this year like that. Because we not deserve to win at all, and even today.
And I mean, and I normally don't tweet during Bucs games, but I sent out a tweet and I was like, "Look, man, I'm so done with Jameis. I'm so done with Jameis because as good as he is, those turnovers, man, they just continue to be the bane of his existence." And I was like, look, man, I'm always going to pull for him because he's my guy. But when they decide to move for him, man, I'm just going to be like, okay, well, he had his chance because he had his chance. Right. But Buccaneers get the win over the Browns today. It puts them at 3-3 in the division. We tried to get some help from help from Philadelphia. They played the Carolina Panthers today in Philly, and they blew a 17-point lead to the Panthers. Did you see any highlights or anything from that, Phil?
Yeah, it just looks like Philadelphia kind of ran out of gas there.
They took their foot off the gas, and Carolina's 4-2. Like, did you guys?
They're a weak 4-2.
They're a weak 4-2.
I would pick the Falcons. I'd pick pretty much any team. Well, not Tampa, but any team in the NFC South.
Don't hit me while I'm down, man. Don't hit me while I'm down.
I don't know. I don't believe in them.
Do the Panthers seem like a 4-2 team to you?
Not at all. Like I said earlier, we're not afraid, even though they have a way better record than not way, but a better record than we have. They were our first and only win for a while. So I'm not afraid of playing them again at all. I'm more afraid of even Tampa, to be honest with you.
Like, I mean, Carolina, you don't want to say they're lucky because a lot goes into winning a football game. They won the football game. They came back from 17 in Philly, and until further notice, these are still the Super Bowl champions. So, I mean, you kind of gave them credit, but hey, man, that 4-2 record is weak. It's weak. I said it. Update on the Saints game. You guys give me an update on the Saints game.
Yeah,
the Saints
game they're down by 3. Baltimore has the ball, about 12 minutes to go. So hopefully Baltimore can drive and get some points on this drive.
It's tough when you root against other teams just to beat teams in your division because it seems like they never come through for you.
Right.
Baltimore and New Orleans. Who wants this game, Ty?
New Orleans is going to probably take this, man.
Actually, Baltimore 4th and 20, so there goes that.
Who wins the game, Phil? Baltimore or New Orleans?
New Orleans.
Breeze loves comebacks, man. So
Breeze
only 14 points for them in the fourth quarter. That's interesting.
I don't know, man. We'll see, man. I think New Orleans will win. I think they're just a better football team. No disrespect to the Ravens. Shout out to my man Doug, who is the biggest Ravens fan that I know. Yeah, man. I think y'all going down today, but. Another game of note was the game in London today. We had across the seas football, and I hate across the seas football because for like 4 or 5 years, the Bucs always had like the London game, and we would always go over there and get our butts kicked. And I'm like, look, man, we could have got our butts kicked at home. So, I mean, Phil, take us through the last 30 seconds of that game, man.
So the Titans, they drive, they score a touchdown. All right, so they're going to tie the game. We'll go to overtime.
Yeah, down by 1, right?
Yeah, down by 1. So kick the field goal, right?
Yeah.
Nah, they decided to go for 2. And guess what? They ain't get it.
They didn't get it. So Ty, like, who was the coach? Mike Vrabel? Is he the coach of the Titans?
I think so.
I think Mike Vrabel's the coach. So
Ty, he don't need to be the coach no more. Whoever made that decision.
Imagine your team. You've been watching them go overseas. They take like a 12, 14-hour plane ride. They finally score, and you're like, okay, we're going to overtime. We'll see what can happen. And the coach says, trot him out for 2. He holds up the 2-finger, man. Like, how sick would you be if you're a Titans fan?
Oh, man. Again, I don't know why I always go back, but I remember us playing over there. The Falcons playing in London a few years ago. I think, again, it was against Detroit. And I think Mike Smith, another Mike.
Yeah.
Shout
out to Mike Smith, my boy who I shouted out last week, who is currently unemployed. I see you, playboy.
I thought maybe the Titans picked him up with making a play like that. Something he started working again. But yeah, man, I'll be upset. I'll be throwing all kind of stuff in the stands, man.
Yeah, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Just kick the field goal, bro. Going to overtime.
Just trying to prove.
And again, man, the thing that I hated, and it just kept repeating. We could have got our butts whooped at home in the States. Now you got to travel 14 or so hours all the way across the pond to just, hey, man, you caught that L.
International L.
You caught an international L, man. So, oh, man, that's crazy. But let's get into this Falcons preview. They take on the Giants on Monday Night Football. First things first, man, are you guys a fan of your team playing on prime time or not?
Seems like the Falcons always go the same way in the primetime games. They get up big, and then all of a sudden, here comes the other team in the fourth quarter. It never fails. Now, usually they do hold on. I remember the Green Bay game last year. There's been several. It just seems like everyone is exactly the same.
Yep.
I'm
not. And my brother and I have talked about this before. How a lot of times the national TV and radio won't give the Falcons their due when they were having great seasons. Then every time we catch a national game, when everybody can see what we do, we end up messing up and not showing why we should get recognition. So I'm not a fan of it from years ago, man. Like, we always find a way to not show up. But again, I think this is going to be a different. I think the Giants will help us out a little bit.
Yeah, it's not like you playing. It's not like you playing like a top tier team,
right?
Like, no disrespect to the Giants, but Giants ain't really that good.
And the roof will be open. They'll spend about 30 minutes talking about that.
Oh yeah, the roof is on fire. Yeah, man. So let's look at this injury report, man, because I think when you talk about the Falcons, the thing you have to talk about is the injury. No team in the NFL has been plagued like the Falcons when it comes to these injuries, man. And we talked about it a little bit on the break. Matt Bryan is out. Devontae Freeman, the starting running back, got put on IR this week. He's gone for the season. Add that to Deion Jones and the other list of names that have just continued to fall for this Falcons team. So, Phil, did you say that they signed a kicker, or did they?
Yeah, they signed a kicker. I'm probably about to destroy his name.
Give it a shot.
Giorgio Tavercino.
Oh, he sounds like he can't make no kicks.
right.
He sounds like he can't make no kicks.
Sounds like he kicks barefoot. Not sure.
He's a left-footed kicker.
Oh, wow. Shout out to all the lefties, man. I'm left-handed, so it's all good. But I don't kick left-handed. How are you feeling going into this game? We already talked about national audience. Giants are, I think they're 1-4?
Yeah, 1-5.
1-5. You know, they had the big brouhaha with Odell Beckham and, this, that, and the other. How are you feeling? And I know you have that, beside the usual nervous gut feeling that you have before the Falcons game. Like, how are you feeling? You think they can come out with a W?
They can. I just want them to come out healthy, man. Like, every game we play, we lose another starter or two. So, win the game, but stay healthy. That's the main thing, man, to me.
Like a preseason game. Just one guy.
Yeah.
I think they'll win, and they'll win big. I don't know. I've been feeling like week by week this will be the week the Falcons get it together. Maybe this time I'll be right.
What you need to do, you need to contact Phil during the middle of the week, because Phil is the eternal optimist.
That's true.
He is the eternal optimist, and Ty is the eternal pessimist.
Absolutely.
So you guys need to mesh and come together, touch and agree. You'll be like, hey, man, we can do this.
I think if the Falcons if they get to 500, I'll start feeling a little bit more like I think they can possibly do something. But right now, they're not there. So
one game at a time.
Yeah, we get to this bye week at 3-4, hopefully. And then hopefully get some of our guys back healthy during this 2-week stretch, and just take it week by week.
Yeah.
Hopefully, still go 9-7, 10-6.
Shout out.
Not out the question.
Shout out to our guy Bob. He's in the Facebook chat room. He said Saquon was going to go off for 225 yards, and they would get destroyed. Shout out to Bob for the shot of confidence for the Falcons. I don't know, man, because Eli is so hot and cold. Eli will throw 4 picks one game and come back and throw 5 touchdowns another. You don't really know which Eli you're going to get. You don't really know which kind of defense you're going to get from this Falcons team, and that has been big because the offense has been clicking like a well-oiled machine, even with Devontae Freeman out. Yep. So I think the offense is going to be fine. I always kind of lean towards the home team. I'm going to say the Falcons win this by 3 points. 3 points. So I think Saquon going to go off on y'all, though.
Yeah, I'm afraid of him.
I think he's going to eat.
I'm not going to lie.
I think he's going to eat.
He's going to go off.
I think he's going to eat, but because
this defense, please.
Here's the thing. They have to establish the run. They have to run the ball. But most teams nowadays, they're not really about establishing that run life. They just like, we're going to throw the ball 1,000 times, even if we can run the ball. Right. Because even last week when we played you guys, we ran the ball well, but for some reason they stopped running the ball. So I don't know. We'll see. I think Saquon's going to get his, but I think the Falcons win by 3 points. So it's going to be interesting. And the thing about these national games, it's like, again, hey man, we could have got our butts kicked on local TV. So when you have a national game, you got to worry about showing up to work the next day and that person who doesn't watch football talk about something. Oh, what about your Falcons?
Right,
but,
right.
Hey, it is what it is, man. NBA season has begun, and real quick, man, the scoring has been at a dizzying pace, and we're going to talk about our Hawks in the next segment. But teams putting up 140, 130 points this season, man. I mean, the defense has just been like non-existent. I don't know if it's just like, hey, we just gonna play this all-star type defense. Like, Phil, what do you think about this trend?
I like the trend. It seems like the ref are kind of calling it tighter. There's a lot less hand fighting and all that. So it's like as soon as you touch a guy, it's foul. But I mean, it's entertaining. I like it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of the old heads are not gonna like it. But it's fun looking at the thing. There's only one team averaging less than 102 points a game right now. That's Oklahoma City. So
that's
they'll
crazy.
They'll probably come up when
Russ is back tonight.
When Russell comes back tonight.
Shout out to Dennis Schroeder. Y'all see his haircut?
Yeah, I saw it.
So he's no longer the golden patch. He's like the golden stripe.
He's the toucan patch. He's looking like a fruit.
That dude is nonstop entertainment. Ty, you a fan of the run and gun, man? Or you want to see a little bit more defense?
Not this much, man. Like, it just feels like an all-star game. Like, there's no defense being played. I don't know if this is also, I guess, due to everyone trying to shoot threes now. Everyone trying to become three-point shooting teams. One thing that I do not like so far in the season is all the screen fouls they've been calling. Like, I'm not sure what's going on, but it seems like it kind of messes up the flow. But they're still scoring a bunch of points, so I guess I can't really make that argument.
Yeah, and I think it's going to level out, like maybe towards a little bit later on, in the season. Coaches are going to, I think it drives coaches crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to get tired of, hey, you guys gave up 140 points. Like the Hawks gave up 140. Was it 140 points?
130 and 120.
Yeah, 130, but like the same night, the Kings gave up like 140.
149.
149 points.
And it's not an overtime game.
Yeah. Like we gave up 130. How many should we give it to the Knicks?
127 to the Knicks.
127 to a Knicks team without Porzingis.
Yeah, right.
Like, I mean, Timmy Hardaway, he can heat up, but like, come on, man. Like
131 to a Memphis team that wants to grit and grind.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Like, I mean, I like the run and gun. I'm okay with the new transition. The NBA is always going to go through transitional periods, but I don't know. I kind of want to see it level out again. Yeah. That's just kind of me. I'm kind of old school.
Indiana shot 16 of 24 from 3 last night, or it might have been the other night, but 16-24 from 3.
Yo, cats are just going out there gunning 3-pointers now. Yeah. Like, you have Alex Lynn for the Hawks, like shooting threes. Right. Like, it's crazy. Like, and it's like, I don't want to be that old guy who's always like, well, back in my day, they played defense and, they'd smack a dude in the face if he going through the paint. Like, I don't want to be that dude, but I'm slowly turning into that dude. But I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll get into some of this Hawks talk. We'll give a Hawks update. We are going to take another quick break. We're a little bit at the halfway point. I forgot to tell you guys to call in with your studs and your duds if you have them. Put them in the chat room. Tweet us your studs and your duds for the weekend. 404-603-8770. That's 404-603-8770. Hit us up with your studs and your duds. Put them in the chat room. Tweet us at GTR Radio 1100. This is the Gametime Radio Crew. You are listening to us on the Real 1100, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and Facebook Live. We'll be right back after this.